I've already covered the two highest tier Dutch cruisers ad nauseum, so today we're going to take a look at something that's slightly different but also the same, the Tier 7 Tech Tree Dutch cruiser Harlem. And really, this battle is not so much about the ship, which, as I'm sure you might guess, is perfectly balanced, just like the Johan de Witt and the Howden Loo. And of course, the commander at the helm is even more perfectly balanced than the ship's, Johann Firstner. We'll, of course, see his skills at work in this battle, but we've already discussed in great detail what the skills do. Today, I want to talk about something a little bit separate from the ships. A relatively new feature in World of Warships Legends that only debuted a couple updates ago. Back in my day, when I started playing this game in 2019, all we got were kill ribbons, nothing else. And at the end of the battle, we don't have a detailed stats page that shows us how much damage we did to each individual enemy target, or anything of that nature. So it was impossible, really, unless you watched a battle back, to determine just how many enemy ships you reached out and touched with your powers of compassion. Now, however, after the debut of the Fist Medal, which is the ultimate symbol of compassion in World of Warships Legends, now we have a much better sense of how many ships we've reached out and touched. And as you can imagine, with these airstrikes touching the mines there for 13,000 damage and counting after the two fires, the Harlem, along with the Dutch cruisers generally, are very capable of reaching out and spreading their love all across the battlefield. The Mines is feeling the love now, the warm love of another burning perma fire. So is the Lucian. We've just shot at him and lit him on fire with the guns. And there, as the Mines goes down for the very first kill of this battle, awarding the first blood medal to one of our teammates, we get the first of many fists. The Lucian smokes up, and we've got a Plymouth pushing into the cap who goes dark, although he is spotted by the air from the friendly CV. Lucian is also smoked up, which has caused our friendly DD to run away from the cap. The right choice, in my opinion. You certainly don't want to be pushing into a Lucian smoke screen when it's got sonar active and you're a destroyer. And besides, our friendly destroyer lost most of his HP in the initial engagement with the Lucian, so he clearly feels like it's better to stay alive, and I don't disagree with his decision. Now, however, that the Plymouth is not spotted, we can see he's inside of a smoke screen. So I was initially considering pushing into the cap, but since we'll have no vision of the Lucian, and we don't quite know where the Plymouth is being inside of the smoke screen, I figured we'll wait here, just for a moment. We've got the enemy CV flying around behind us, and then the Lucian gets spotted. He's gotten out of his smoke screen. Didn't look like he was surface spotting me at first. We're going to attempt to drop him with an airstrike here, thinking he's going to turn more toward that island there, but he decides not to. He's going to go a little bit past it. And these airstrikes are, to be fair, quite difficult to land against destroyers that are actively maneuvering. The 12-second drop time is, I think, relatively short when it comes to dropping cruisers and battleships, but not so much when it comes to dropping destroyers. And that's probably a good thing, because if you can get a solid one of these airstrikes to land on an enemy DD, it has the potential to do a tremendous amount of damage. Friendly Gascon is now pushing into the capture circle, a move that I think is potentially inadvisable given the presence of the Lucian, the Plymouth, and now a second enemy cruiser whose grayed out on the map has entered the fray somewhere. We're worried about our teammate's safety, so we're going to push in with him. We've got sonar active for another 10 seconds, which may be crucial in saving the friendly Gascon from a sea of torpedoes that is likely to be launched. I think we don't catch the Lucian there with the sonar. It runs out. But that's when the Harlem and the Plymouth's smoke screen runs out, so both of them are revealed. Unfortunately, we've got HE chambered. A very sad thing when we're presented with a broadside like that. Of course, the skip bombers, not the skip bombers, what am I even saying? I need more coffee. The airstrikes drop the Harlem and do a tremendous amount of damage, but he's on low health now. We're on the reload. We finally got the AP chambered. We're not going to need it, but we do get another fist. That's 2 fists so far, about 6 minutes into this battle. Enter the enemy Lucian, who has decided now is the time to come around the capture circle. Or the island, rather, inside of the capture circle. I don't know why he made the decision, but I do know it's the wrong decision. Lucian will go down for our 3rd fist. And then there's the Plymouth sailing around the corner of the island there, broadside to our position. This time we've got the AP chambered. I believe these are 203 millimeter guns. So they could do a good amount of damage against the broadside of a light cruiser like Plymouth. Of course, the accuracy is not all that great. You can see the terrible dispersion there in that shot. Little bit of damage on the Plymouth, who is undoubtedly turning around to launch his torpedoes, but he goes down for the 4th fist. Once we get one more fist, we're going to get the most coveted medal in this game. You thought the Kraken Unleashed was the most impressive medal, I'm sure, but have you seen the Helping Hand? It is only awarded to those compassionate players who extend a helping hand to their teammate and acquire 5 fists. We're one number away from that, but the situation is perhaps not great on the ground in this game. We can see that the enemy still holds the Alpha Cap that they spawned with, but they're about 2 seconds away from taking the Bravo Cap. We, on the other hand, are going to flip Charlie, but that's going to mean we have 1 cap to the enemy's 2, and they're already ahead of us by a little over 100 points, 466 to 337. That lead is going to continue to grow as they draw points from 2 of the caps every tick. But there's Amalfi. We actually outspot him, which is crazy to me because the Italian cruiser concealment is some of the best at the tier. Not anymore with the debut of the Dutch cruisers. Terrible shot there against the Amalfi. Horrible lead we completely miss. And we also miss, oh no we don't, we land 3 bomb hits with the airstrike, one of which lights a fire. Amalfi takes himself behind the island, and magically we get a citadel, even though I think that shot was about half blind there, and the Amalfi was slightly angled. Whatever, I'll take it. There's Kansas. We've got the HE chambered again, and we're not quite close enough to hit him with the airstrike. But with that little HP, if we have 2 airstrikes ready to go, which we don't, we only have 1, but if we had 2, that may be enough to actually sink the Kansas with the airstrikes themselves. He does take a hit from one of the teammates over there. He's trying to turn out of the way of the airstrikes, but the reticle is so gigantic that he simply can't. And really, it only takes 1 airstrike to sink him. There's our first kill of the game, denying us the coveted Helping Hand medal. But don't worry, there's still 3 more chances. So far, keep in mind, because we have these Fists medals, we only get them if we deal damage to an enemy ship within 30 seconds before it sinks. Given that we've got 4 of them and 1 kill, that means we've touched at least 5 ships in this game. Amalfi comes out of the smoke screen in front of us, launches a smoke screen of his own. It's not going to keep him concealed. He shot his guns, and we're about to proxy spot him. And now we conduct an experiment for science. What is better, torpedoes or airstrikes? Torpedoes coming at our face from the Amalfi. We take one right in the nose, but Amalfi, beached against the island there, is incapable of moving away from the airstrikes. And now he's on a triple fire, which sends him back to port for our second kill of the game. So, as we can tell from that little experiment there, airstrikes are superior to torpedoes. That's how science works, ladies and gentlemen. All you need is one good data point to come to sweeping conclusions. Torpedoes from the air, however, are clearly superior to torpedoes from the ship. The enemy CV hits us with 3 torpedoes, while the Amalfi could only manage 1. He's coming back around for another drop, but this time we're wise to his moves, and so we're able to dodge. We've also shot down 26 planes, 27, 28, maybe even 29 planes by the time this is all said and done. Nope, only 28, but don't worry, we're only 2 planes away from what's that called? Clear Skies medal. There's 29. Enemy CV is still floating, along with one final enemy destroyer. We, however, need to secure this cap, because if we don't, and that CV comes back and sinks us, there is a possibility we could lose. We've still got 3 teammates left alive, which is a lot more than what the enemy team has, but their points lead could potentially have become insurmountable if we didn't flip this cap. Thankfully, we did. Enemy Kaga gets spotted 15 kilometers away. Once again, the dispersion on these guns is letting us down somewhat. But eventually, if we throw enough crap at the wall, some of it is likely to stick. Not on that salvo, of course. 2 shatters and actually 3 shatters, one of which was the hit on the torpedo protection, I believe. In any case, Kaga is being shredded by our teammates. We're going to take a bit of a blind shot here. We get another decent hit, this time while he's dark, so I have no idea how much damage that really was. Of course, he wants to focus us down, which is going to give us the Clear Skies medal. That's nice. I haven't seen one of those in a long time. Also a very satisfying medal, because as everybody knows, allowing your AI gunners to shoot down planes is one of the most rewarding things you can do in this game, at least in terms of XP earned. There is the 5th fist, and consequently, the helping hand. 5 fists, 2 kills. There's 1 destroyer left as well. We haven't seen him yet. I have no idea what he is or where he is. He's not inside of the alpha cap. That much is clear. But I don't even see his last known location on the minimap. And at this point, things are pretty much over for the red team. We're 2 seconds away from flipping this last cap. We hold all 3 now, and we get spotted by the enemy destroyer. Perhaps he's going to do the honorable thing. Somebody mistakenly pings the map on that other side where the destroyer is not. But don't worry, I'm sending my airstrikes to his location. And one good thing about the airstrikes is, you see, they reveal the AA of a ship if it's got AA on. So we know where to look for the Schoenberg, who appears to not be participating in this match. It looks like he's still in the spot where he first spawned. So that's good. He's going to lose a bunch of credits in this match, and we get free target practice. We are able to launch the airstrike at the stationary target, but I think only 2 bombs there hit, which is not all that impressive. But there's our 6th fist. That's right, a 6-pack of fists, plus 2 kills. What does it all mean, ladies and gentlemen? What information can we glean from this match with an impressive 93,000 damage done and almost 4,000 base XP inflated by all the planes that we shot down? Very impressive results, I think, by anybody's standards. But the lesson to be drawn here, ladies and gentlemen, is that the Dutch cruisers can reach out and touch every ship on the map. The fact that we got 6 fists and 2 kills means we touched 8 out of 9 ships, and we have scientific proof of having done so. That is crazy, and it is on that bombshell that I will leave you today. I hope you enjoyed the video. If so, give it a thumbs up. Consider subscribing if you haven't already, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye.